I don't know about y'all, but I'm just happy to see Mac in the flesh. So he lives in my same county, and I hadn't seen him in a while. So, all right, what we're going to do, we're still trying to get this worked out. We apologize, but for some reason we cannot get this sound, and we've got the video and everything. But we're going to bring up Will Jones. Will was in a car accident. Will is Apostolic Conservatives. Big in the movement. Everybody knows him. We love him, and we're so thankful that he is out here with us today. And we wish him a speedy recovery. And we just thank you for being here with us.
No, Will.
All right. Hello, everybody. All right. As they said, Will Jones, and I was in a horrific head-on collision back in June. I guess I need to hold it up a little bit. I am the former chairman of the Republican Party in Douglas County, but due to the accident, I stepped down so that the party could move on and not be hindered. Also, the founder of Apostolic Conservatives, now APCO News, and I've had it's been a rough journey. I've never broken anything in my body. Playing football in school and stuff, never broke anything. And so to be at a point where in this collision where I was coming from Brian Jack's campaign election party, and leaving there, we were almost to the interstate. I had a friend of mine that was on the executive committee, Mr. Henry Robinette, who's doing a lot better himself. He didn't have as much severe injuries, but coming up through there, a guy was driving down the road the wrong way. He hasn't been charged with under influence because all of us got rushed to the hospital. 3 different vehicles had to have the jaws of life to pull the drivers out of the car. And so as they rushed us to the hospital, they weren't able to do any toxicology. So now we're still waiting on a 60 to 90 day warrant for the authorities to be able to get that. But it's well expected. But anyway, in much like most of those cases where a person is under influence driving, most other people are the other people in the car, the ones that get hurt the most. So he was out of the hospital in a week's time, and I remained there just a couple of days short of being in there a month. But I received crushed pelvis and broken fractured fibula tibia, fractured ankle. But the way God designs our body is so wonderful, because while I was sitting crushed in the car, pent in between the seat with all of this stuff going on, internal bleeding and all of this, I did not feel any of the pain. Now, there were a few times that I blacked out because I woke up about 3 or 4 different times having conversations with a man that saw the accident first and was talking to us in the car and went around checking on everyone. And when the emergency response team got there, I was able to talk to them. I was able to talk to Mr. Henry, but it's by the grace of God that while I was penning, I did not feel any of that. And by the grace of God that I'm living today. So one thing is, I've always told people, even when within the ranks of being the chairman of the county, that above all, I am a believer. But above all, I am a Judeo-Christian. And so that's where even the name of my show comes from, my faith. And if one thing is that what I endured with this event, it has caused me to grow even stronger in my faith. And not only in that, but I wanted to read just a scripture to you guys, or just about 3 scriptures from 2 Corinthians 12, 7 through the 10th verse. And it says, "And lest I should be exalted above measure, through the abundance of the revelations there was given to me a thorn in the flesh, the messenger of Satan to buffet me, lest I should be exalted above measure. For this thing I besought the Lord thrice, that it might depart from me. And he said unto me, My grace is sufficient for thee. For my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Christ might rest upon me. Therefore I take pleasure in infirmities, in reproaches, in necessities, and in persecutions, in distresses, for Christ's sake. For when I am weak, then I am strong." So I don't know if some of you may be going through some things, or eventually, if you've never been through something, you're going to go through something eventually. But don't let it fade you. Don't let it cause you to lose hope, because you can and you will come out of that situation. And I'm so excited that because I've suffered like I've suffered. I've had to cry sometimes. The first 2 weeks that I was in the hospital, I didn't have a midsection. I couldn't sit up. I couldn't raise up. And when I had to go to downstairs to go to get screenings and different things like this, every time they moved me, I cried. I hollered like I don't know, like I can't say if it's like a woman having a baby, but it was a blood curdling scream that even my family, once they heard it, they had to go down to the furthest end of the hospital just to get away from it. But God saw me through it, and he's made me stronger because I've called on his name like I've never have before. And I just want to encourage you guys that no matter what you're going through, and I kind of, I kind of see things and I look at it, in a parallel to what we're going through in our country. We've been the greatest country on God's green earth to ever exist. And we've experienced a lot of great things. And I believe we have gotten to a point to where we didn't value what we've had, over the last several decades. And so as we didn't value what we had, we began to take it for granted. But there have been people that have infiltrated our government, infiltrated every institutional system that we have, where they hate what we have. They literally hate. I believe without a doubt that Kamala and the rest of the Marxist left, communists, they hate what we have in our country, and they want to see it destroyed. And they have been working on it while we have relaxed, while we have been lackadaisical over the last couple of decades. They have been coming full force to destroy what we have. And so that's why now, as I've had more time than ever to read, because I can't work. And so I've been reading as I go through the Federalist Papers and stuff. And I go to thinking about reading what James Madison them and what they talked about. And you begin to see how they talked about the tar that was found in our country. God led our founders to this country decades ago so that they could be in a place where we would have all the provision. We would have all reserves greater than any country in the world right now. And so it's God's hand that's been on our country. And so even though we're going through the phase that we're going through, don't lose hope. Don't give up. No matter how it looks like they've deceived, and the deception that they've done, and the thievery that they've done with the elections and stuff, fight on, because we've got to continue to go to the ballot. We've got to overwhelm the ballot like never before. And so as we don't give up and we continue to go on like we're going, we will win in the end. And so I wanted to encourage you guys with that. God bless you. Thank you. And I want to say thank you for all of those that reached out and gave us support with the GoFundMe that we had online. And I know a lot of us conservatives, we understand what they have done with GoFundMe, but I had family members that wanted to do good and set it up for us, and it has helped us out tremendously by those of you that have poured out. We have Cash App if anyone would like to support us. Also, you can go to Apostolic Conservatives to support us there. And I'd like to mention that we have been blessed with a startup business to create a parallel economy with payment or card payment processing. So if you would like to find out more about that, you can go to the website. It's very simple. Unlike Apostolic Conservatives, you can go to the website APCO Processing. The word processing, APCO Processing, find out. So if you know anyone with a business that has been going through Stripe, PayPal, Square, all of those entities like that, we can help them and give them much more economical rate. Thank you guys. God bless you.